you share with me a breakfast? I call still over this Saturday, 22nd, 2015, but the reality of so much problem. I'm so tired. I really have done a sort of my realities, my real intrinsic smart. As the dear fact of my Muslim blood, Turkey, Siba, Reading, and at the very moment first that I had you some that honey shot more less than snack. And the clear of my reality itself. For the reason of this all, as who I am, as who I exist. Dat is graag niet het spot to walk, dat aan het geslachtje is van het satisfactie dat hij chef in de geslachtje that's not in. I really don't have no point no coercively element between the person I am, the reality I go through, and that genocide which weighs upon my head. You will say, wait for, well, the reality of this, Adonai accelerated his kingdom at the clear fact of his way. And somehow I were responsible for others living in the chapter. But releasing the clear fact of the responsibles up on my shoulders, I cover my genocide, which is not like I done, which is not like I produce, but the same mind, I am going to respond for each as murder, all through for the person I am. Suddenly, I'm found in the middle of my life with some elements which are not exhibition, are not for pretending or winning trophies. I'm trying to be a star. I'm not needing to make a cheer blinske and machine. And for the having a prize, I make photos to share with my whole love, with the limitation of a simple android for the reason of the less humanity about making me. I kill for the reason of my responsible character about the person I am with the limitations cited, and still robbed, and still kidnapped systemically in this disgusting life. With a pardon of victims, which I am not hypocrite when I say it. And the clear fact of this soul delivered me into a moment which is not exactly my life. The problem. Unless, no. For decades, I considered my person and the reality that I just wanted to be who I am. There were a lot of people saying, needing, looking, watching, expecting. And I had a very sense of frustrations and destructions produced by the GENERIE since my life, without it I to be conscious. So, In the middle of these times, I just went through the instructions which seem implies nothing to means prostitution, drug addiction, crime, felony, or any other class of what we understand destroys each other's lives. But here's a quote of tendencies and destruction and suppression that I could only survive about my person, the person I am. But as memories I hold all through is that I always wanted to progress about being who I am and not expecting to take it from others. Not wanting to suppress and submit others, but expecting their recognition, at least the respect, being with the person in front. At the relaxation, at the reality, at the culture. And it's exactly what I kept and what I will always expect. Suddenly in the middle of this all, I just carried what I did. And in the middle of this all, I am who I am. The clear fact of my life is expecting Adonai to make me establish order and justice. And it's not a sense of niche or nasche, like it's called in Moscow. It's not a sense of Freud. It's not a sense of Luziat. It's not a sense of Rinta. Unless the reality of Vatican and any hocus-pocus power or faith. It's not an illusory element for Yovit, and neither an unsettling sociologist, Binskolek. The reality of this is that I am conscious about the whole that's supposed to be a very far through, which nobody to know, nobody to be aware that you go back to the hell because they're going to kill you off. And the hell is the hell, but it's exactly the Quinta Receptas Messinian, Policía Federal Argentina, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, Gendarmería Nacional, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas. Bunker in Buenos Aires province, delivering people to being slaughtered, destroyed, raped, made civilly, desperately degenerados, and raping, murdering, and making disasters, and genociding from the feeling, from the sighting, pedophiling, Toronto filing, Toronto sighting. So, sight, pedocide. And suddenly at the clear of this, and Alameda word, gerontology, Toronto, her age, grandmas, grandpas, and it's not a joke. So suddenly, to the real this, as through the clear of the days, I found myself in the middle of a disaster, still expecting for justice, and we are at the finals of my vision. So suddenly, I found myself I had frustrations in my life. With the most of that I want to hold things that I love, and I don't regret that I did. And I don't regret that I allowed, which laudable error, understanding the clear judgment and not the ethnic, culture, religion, character, and treacheries of hypocrite that generates pretender of governance. So suddenly, after too much acknowledged and entitled to being a son of a sanctified son of a damn B word, like Kirchner and the PJN Argentina, Congreso Argentina, Peronismo, Kirchnerismo, Evangelistas Unidos, and all class of a sick experiment like this. It's exactly my lifetime suffering and expecting they to move away from my way for it to do what I naturally would do, which is being who I am. Clean. and needed to making machineries of degenerates this soul, for my lifetime to making the degenerates sickness that pretends today to saying, I'm sorry, I was confused. He were not the one, I am confused, forgive me. So I'm telling you one thing, coming to the States all around the world, to recruiting and delivering to Argentina, and recruiting in the States, and delivered to kidnap, rape, murder, and robbery, styling Sodom and Gomorrah, and evangelistas degenerados instigating for, and covering and supporting, and the whole generation like them, which is not administration of Mr. President Obama, and state bodies, neither State of Israel, and I am serious about what I say, neither Mr. President Putin, neither Mr. President American, and I'm serious about what I say. Never happened. Neither International Criminal Court, the real realization of it, neither the Hague. Us inside conflicts for the reason of this, much of times, us besieged, harassed, and premeditated for being murdered and taking positions like every day making, and to me, with evangelistas, and organizing this class of other generations daily about in character to prohibiting me to accede into any source, any element, and any way to come out, and to showing myself with the excuse that I will be the beast, and I have not taken powers, conditions, and I will be the character of the supposed prophecy of the apocalypse, because of they turn to saying that don't recognize the spirit of mine, but they said give the portion. They said that ain't no God in anything I am and I exist and I will produce, and the spirit that I move all over the world, but they said give me that spirit and the power because of God's dominion of him. So in the middle of this reality, which is not evolutional and delirious, what I'm saying, I'm found that I am the one I am for the worldwide cry. Rape, murder, robbery, slavery, genocide, familicide, pregnant, mothers, fathers, kids. About he provokes me because of place the holy and got to be a fact because of is what I command. Doesn't like the woman, he's a chunky, he's a generate, eats the C-word, fathers, all the day, and 6 men, and he's a degenerate because of likes everything, because of daily letters taking it, and making machineries to try to stage and forcing and extortioning and destroying and suppressing and ruining our life, pretending that happened. For they to be fulfilled at the picture of the day, saying that they are right, and gotta be they, not me. Saying, give me this power, I want that power. I want the conscience, I want the health of his mind, the equilibrium of his mind because of never gets healed. I want his feeling, his love, in the power of my fathers for everybody to blow me up, and I have that sacrifice to come down. Militares argentinos, gendarmes argentinos, federales argentinos, prefectos argentinos, metropolitanos argentinos, Fuerzas Armadas argentinas, aeroportuarios argentinos, CITE, custodio, presidencia Kirchner, gobierno Kirchner, and themselves. We did not revenge Alexander forces except for fear. That were destroyed all the time, and I was trying to steal, to put it out. And evangelistas unidos, degenerados, instigating this all, making riot an organization like tenement of desperate snakes knowing they coast to hell. Organizing the whole world, making murder, genocide, and destructions all over, uncontainably, uncontrollably. Like hell desperate lizards of hell. So sudden, in the middle of the soul, and found myself today, after everything that they consciously, intentionally were doing to me, saying, I'm confused, I'm sorry. And everyone, as this, were seen and heard clearly. Give me a witch, give me a magician, give me an evangelic, and I them all. Everybody can, you just seek for your witch, seek for your evangelic, get your boner, and until you have, should I say milk? And I'm sorry the word. Whatever you have in the way. This is the patriot Kirchner's and the patriot Ejército Argentino and the patriot Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas Sodom and Gomorrah. And the patriot of love wants the love of the souls of the Savior because of the put it in evidence, the government, you know, evangelics. So what the real of this, the core is me and the mobile of them. Everything I exist and I want, I put it first. It was me. And everything is worthy all over the world. They says, nobody exists except us, making sense of. And a very business of the century about everyone like to me, saying that that is their purpose in life, and they are going to be billionaire, and they are going to have the prestigious and the fame and all of the all overpowers. I'm going to be cut. And saying cut to crow, like Luciano Troviano told them, you cut to crow inside of the Vatican. Buon instrumenti. And everyone intentional conscience and no one making no intelligence with Vatican. Except for distancing. And in our evangelics with them, always. Militares argentinos rejoiced them existences by destroying me and each assistance except Raúl Alfonsín and another. About making sacrificial and witchcraft and offerings above my person for big ringing and heavy government, especially Barraca. And this is not so, this is not ethnic, no religion, no culture. And each season they destroyed people and genocided for they to say they had to be and not me. Everyone, including terroristas. And I am going to tell you one thing. I want this land in ashes. And until the goddamn bricks, stones, and dust, I am willing to put it where it belongs. For the reason of I am who I am. Slektier revés la Hatzama. Infoples de Hamopler Resim. Skelfer Sech Lishvan Sechal. So, evidently for the reasons of this, there is one thing. If you tell me, which that's not necessary to explain, you are confused. Because of, you have a disorder, you are disability. And understand what I say when I say disability. You have a condition which your biology doesn't embrace it. You are in a very diminished state for any class of a reason, suppressed, abducted, ill, corrupted, ruined, lobotomized chemically. And you cannot conceive the reality of the clear, wide understanding which you can see. you know what is the problem? That this pretends to looking exactly like I'm telling you. At the hour for we cut to and kill. What is your purpose? Are you confused? No, sir. What is your purpose? And kill, sir. Well, call to call the witch and call to call the evangelic and keep on doing the same for they to believe it and they to be aware enough about what this is that we need they to believe because of we are the ones that are going to say what it is and what it's not, and everybody to understand and focus about what we say got to be in culture and killed by now because of we got to grow because of we are doing the work. And this is not gonna make it well. Yes, sir. So suddenly, big tactic come up, let's see, big word of a sir, Barbara de Sodoma, y Gomorra. Sobre this. Retevet not platan is sensinim. Can a confusion last 43 years? Can a confusion be each decade? On the, let's make the witchcraft, call the witches because of, there's something wrong, we cannot allow this to be. This is not going to win. The ancestors of us told us well about it. Can a confusion be, since 1994, I were working employed at Siembra AFJP Buenos Aires, Citibank, Banco Rio, retirement, private retirement, and working in front of the seat of degenerados that I were not conscious then. Enfermedad degenerada, Policía Federal Argentina, Pretender of Institution of Education, University. José María Moreno Avenu, Rosario Intersection Street, Rosario Street Intersection, Buenos Aires. In a building that were exactly rented for this company, so having the promoting where one breaks in some of the snakes saying, oh, you got to be affiliated. Sorry for the term. You got to be a membership. If you're working in, without a type 2 determined if I want it or not, which I don't have problem with Citibank, but here, Buenos Aires, Argentina, this class of shit are honest and are this and are the generates the most. And really are. And further that, with the regulations, with no possibility to exchange and saying, no, I don't want, and robbed me for millions, and also the extortions for I did not have a child, and I did not be frequent for it to be at so long ago, premeditated by Ejército Argentino and Chile, I to be the chunky tour, and not constant with a very mental problem for the having a child. But I worked. And I wanted to study, but the extortions were all over permanently. And framing the degenerates about the moment whenever I had to wake up. And I couldn't do no further, for they would make disasters before. But the thing is, the problem is how to hold in the world, knowing that this all you see will ever come earlier. And the disaster that you see about one person will be something to not ever hold or understand the reality. How to go through and how to make it possible. So we have to making the right step over this world to understand what it is, justice institution, and establishing the right understanding about putting at suppression this class until possible, and making the world to understand we are not shopping, and we are not an illusion. Unless a mental state. Suddenly at the clear of this, the supposed junkie, mental case, psychiatric, and every extra were permanently besieged by Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, SIDA, Policía Federal Argentina Intelligence, SIDA, of Sodoma, and the whole of the degenerate component within other evangelics and Ejército Argentino. Making permanent control about my life and whatever I was doing, without it, I speak conscience, except 2003, 2004. What's can I? Yeah. I came back. Whenever I came back and found the disaster, and I just kept on expecting everyone to come through and to saying, well, you have your house, you have your job, you have your car, you have your van, go to work to deliver bread, make your bakery, make your place, your coffee shop, make your muse, bohemian, right at the Smithson corner. I felt this down because of it were graceful, acceptable, but I was thinking about others and they were robbed, where I did not get out. But you get what I said. And third, to keep on making the same, and we're always associated to Ejército Argentino, making this to me with others, making up in a class about the largest shit, and frightening every time as the truth were found and shown all over the world and sending to murder, genocide, and organizing Sodom and Gomorrah, magic trouser uniform for those making disasters all over, and then tribunales to cover and cut the backlasting like now with everything for what I'm talking, which permanently does. Familia de degenerados criminales, oportunistas, víboras enfermas organizadas, familia Manson Argentina, creído de gobierno nacional, con el perdón de algunos. And the hordes, evangelistas of them. So, and the pardon of the victims. So, Glervagat Matlaka, Recitis Fotum Atletic Halekim. If you tell me the confusion delivers you 76,509 times, coming Ejército Argentino to nearing Ginebra, to the memory office, United Nations, saying, I am the terrorist of the army. They proved. And that before times that were confused, saying that they already had, after genocided 805 million Jews that become, forgive me for Jewish people, in base of I will be the beast, in base of I will be the criminal and they will help me. And saying that they were criminals all over against the state of Israel and the same Jewish in person. Making up in a class of a ship with cooperators, Evangelistas Unidos, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas en UNASUR, cult expertises, brujas reventadas, degeneradas, with any class of a fleet of them access. Cyril, and serve the word, malditos culos del infierno, for making this upon us. And today still tearing too, because of we researched already and there is some discussable, we already have it all. We condemnated a person which were carne de cañón de las braguetas maritas estas. So in the middle of the soul, the reality is, until when, until how? World. Earth, planet, states which not the ones that we understand and we know who we are, and please protection. But the clear fact of who pretends still to call my person a genocider, a murderer, a criminal, because of I will be putting under execution such a shit like this. After the generation are only about Jews, and don't you dare to say, oh, Jews, poor, make disasters and goes to make disasters all over, and after that, I am a victim. Don't you get them there, people. Don't you get them there. Because of the reality of this, extenses the clear fact of you will ever be sensed at who you are, and you will be a human. We were working all through humanity. And the responsible of my person in Israel is not your concern about the shit you have to say, the class of you. Not the people that are forced to try to understand. And I am not going to be manipulated at this way. I'm serious. And I'm sorry for this to the ones that I have afforded and trying to establish in some realities of life all through this shit. I'm sorry. I am fighting, and I'm trying to do the best, and my biology much of times Yes, really diminished, and the reality of I can so damage and destroy it, and at this goddamn war against us, in a need to rest, and I am defeated by the sleep. And I am feeling extenuatedly diminished of my strength a little bit. So suddenly, at the feet of my suppose, who this conceits? What do you see at the other side of the sight and fox? Because of this land is a sickness all over, with a burden of you. But what do you see? And the ones that doesn't understand English, please, reach out the wheel and don't you let expertises, perros, hijo de perra, to twisting and saying, oh, because of self-processor, it means that he wanted to eat. And because of self-kids, and he said we wanted to up to them. And turn to same command. Don't you get them there, people. And remember that the Hebrews bottom of the help. Get clear, and who is corrupted, understand to try to heal and clean. And who is wounded, I'm sorry, let's fight for you to heal. And who is destroyed, I'm sorry, understand what the reality is. But if you are a son of a goddamn hell, I'm going to bury you. And I'm going to bury you in a way that you are going to understand. You are nothing but what I said. And this is not a war, and you're going to keep on making disasters you already were doing, and I am not going to be your provocation or your mobile. You already are shit, and you're going to die like that. And the reality is what we have. So suddenly, I am awaiting still because of I am the person I always were, and I don't think about being no other. And I am not going to be any other. That's who I am. And the clear thought of you, what do you expect you to be? Please ask you, at the sensed, at the best afforded, at the best understood, this is the finals of my season. And I give you some more about the tellers, the generados. I don't first my video of Policía Federal Argentina, of Militares Argentina, video of evangelics, video of the president. That never happened, and I don't do no crap like this. Perro del infierno. Permanently are obsessed about my person saying they are going to be in control of everything I do. All over the world. HTTPS www.ODR CDX MBODIDX 8884 CDI middle UNASUR compendio de realidades de nuestro poder y de nuestra gloria. Somos gobierno del mundo. Vamos a tener todas las instituciones de Naciones Unidas y van a sucumbir delante de nuestra gloria y poder. Middle. Porque somos las estrellas de la noche y el alba del sol. Middle. MDICBI DXOC1C3 point FFFPDOC Radcliffe and SimCom4 middle ODR MCBM TDXIC middle sysmiddle MN5 point, and this is not recalled F5. All words F6 and F16 in the Plesby systems programming works as well. Alejandro at this August 22nd, 2015, which supposedly I will be internated, but are destroying my friends again, saying that they have to be reinternated at the Basht, the generados por Valdir Rimeiro, to Rokar Edich, saying that they, the liars, too much because of says too much truth, and this is what they are doing to us. And I'm going to put them on that. And swear my name, that I am Aliyah, that no one gets no salvation unless them evangelics degenerados, unless them ship death, pretender of stars, kingdom of heaven, Sodom and Gomorrah, Salah, Infierno, the Salah.